Hey Janelle, how you doing? So this is going to end up being a video that is I'm not going to share this with the class. I'm going to just give you a link to this video to through this email. But I want to say this. I just want to say this. I think that your work ethic is really impressive. You're actually work harder in the jungle than most students work at home in the comforts of their studios. So I just want to commend you on that. I mean, you're really your work ethic is very impressive. Okay, so let's take a look at the work now. I'm still not seeing camera. I'm still not seeing camera. I mean, I see a camera, but then we see this. It's really difficult to tell what this is. We say it's some sort of a stand or tripod, but it's really difficult. I think what we're getting at here is that and please don't get discouraged. You know me. I have to be honest. This looks so much like you're taking a selfie, and maybe you are, and maybe it's an extension stick. But I know what it looks like, and it looks like you're taking a selfie. So when you say what is the most important thing to me, it almost looks like this could be construed as design in everyday life. As we look at the assignment, what's the important thing to me here? Is it taking selfies? And I can really see the viewer going in that direction. And I mean that. I really do. I mean, you got the stick on the, and it, I know what it is. I know what it is, but it looks like a selfie stick. And I just hate to say that, but that's kind of how it's working now. There's a couple of things that are working against you. And number one is that you're limited resources based on where you're at right now. You can use commercial images in this piece, Janelle. Did you know that? Did you know you can use commercial pieces? I'm going to say that because I think you're working so hard on this for something that might have to be redone later on anyway. So I'm just going to tell you right now, I think it might help if you were to start looking towards using commercial images. And let me explain what I mean. We can still use the GoPro, we can still use the camera, or you can use a camera. You can use something that is going to fit that. I still think the power right here is overwhelming. I love it. It's very powerful. Imagine this, okay? But you've got these things working against you as the way it's shot. And I know that you're, like I said, limited resources, but this is so blown out right here. And you got these reflections, and it's difficult at first to really ascertain what it is and to get comfortable with the fact that it's a camera. All right, think about something like this. Think about using the corner of that. Okay, we're still seeing lens, we're still getting it. Now you're not necessarily saying camera, you might be saying video, right? But we're still getting the lens, and the lens is telling the story, so to speak. So if we could take something like that and blow it up and really use it to take up that portion of the composition, I think that now we're saying that's a lens. This is about photography, video, about recording our experience. Okay, and then we can go from there. For example, okay, so you have my idea, right? Follow me on this, all right? So you have the idea of that right over there, okay? Then you have, instead of having this like kind of peculiar selfie looking stick, you could actually have an image of somebody using one of these cameras. Hold on one sec. As I was saying, you could have an image of someone using the recording device, right? Now, I just went to Google and I said images of somebody using a GoPro, and none of these are not professional images, but you get the idea, okay? That's someone using a GoPro. I mean, that could be a kind of a neat idea to put into your poster. Okay, and then to answer your question, your actual question, after watching, I've been having a lot of fun playing around. I know, I can tell you've been having fun. That's awesome. Having the camera to be the center focus and including the lens, camera, and pole. Do I still need separate pictures to show the two components? Yes, you do. And you kind of found a loophole in the you and another student, I won't mention names, but found this loophole in the spec sheet. It said, wait a second, because technically, yes, you are showing components. But let's just to be true to the assignment, let's stick with it, okay? And then the only other thing I want to mention is your typography. Right now, you're looking, I like this, but what you're letting is that's super far apart right there. But I do like that title quite a lot. Don't forget your overshoot on your E over here, though. Let me just do something real quick. I'm going to pull out a guide here, and let's zoom in. And I just want to pull out a guide and see that you don't have overshoot on your E. So that, let me get rid of that guy, that in conjunction with the fact that this is a curved part of the image and this doesn't have overshoot, so it's going to look like it's leaning this way anyway, and that's exemplified over here. That's just really magnified right here with that curve. So it almost looks like that is completely out of alignment. Optical illusion, but we've been talking about optical illusions now for weeks, right? So there is one in play, okay? And then the other thing I want to mention is that right now the type is so dark that I would not drop that cap the entire 4 lines. I would go maybe 2. But that just looks too awkward right down there where you're going down 4 lines and the O from of in the final line is actually touching the A from the drop cap. So watch that. Also, this type is black, okay? So black tends to advance in the composition. The lighter colors tend to recede. For that reason, I would use a light gray here, just as not to give this object over here so much competition. Okay, so those are my recommendations, and yeah, I don't know how you feel about that, changing up your kind of whole thing here. I don't know if I'm throwing you a loop here, but I'm just thinking about the limitations that you have from where you're at and seeing how maybe we can overcome those limitations in order to save some time later on. Hope that makes sense. All right, thanks very much.